Good morning, everyone. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is created originally for... what freaking day is it? Tuesday, August 9th. It is not solely set for that date. It is to be utilized when you see it. If it fits with your situation at any given time when you see it, please by all means utilize it. But for those of you that watch regularly, we are building upon the Sunday reading, which populates in the lower left-hand corner. If you hear me talking about cards that you don't see in the reading, I'm referencing that reading also, so you can check that out. Ways to support the channel, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of the daily videos. In there is some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing my readings, what decks I'm using, how to contact me for a private reading, and where to follow me on social media. Easy ways of supporting the channel. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel, share the video out, and leave me a question or comment on the video so I know that you're here. So let's see what's going on with the cards today. And our card for the day is the Two of Swords. So this card, Swords is the element of air, right? And it is the mind, how we communicate, the intellect, our thoughts, our words that we choose, our mental capacity. Twos to me are always about sort of relationships, oftentimes the relationship to the self. The first thing that I notice about this, or the first thing that this draws out in me, is that this positioning of how she's seated. She's set facing what I consider the future of the reading, right? But she's blindfolded, and oftentimes the Two of Swords can be like a no or a boundary that we have set up that we're not allowing people to cross. When I look at this, I'm just going to kind of give you my overview of this. It feels like we're pointed to the future, but we don't know exactly how we're going to get there. That's the blindfold. And the moon to me feels like we are listening to our intuition. We should be listening to our own internal voice rather than what's going on outside of ourselves, is the feeling that I get from this card. Also, the singular swords stuck in the ground right in front of her feels to me like us being true to our thoughts or our ideas, our communication, or what it is that we desire or want, and mentally kind of setting ourselves up to shut out sort of the other voices, societal, family, friends, whatever they think we need or how they think we should do something. I feel like we're not necessarily going to listen to that today, and that's okay. Remember, we have, from the Sunday reading, underpinning this is the King of Pentacles, and then the midweek card is the Ace of Cups. So to me, this feels like us sort of like embracing ourselves more so, and our own thoughts, our own ideas, our own intuition, and utilizing that to like point towards the future and cultivate something new for ourselves, especially with that Ace of Cups coming up in the midweek, right? Something that we're more emotionally drawn to, and we might need to, I don't want to say fight for it, but like we have to stay focused is the feeling that I get with this Two of Swords. I feel like even though she's blindfolded, she's focused on what it is she wants, how it is she's going to communicate it, and whatever it is that we're saying to ourselves within these thoughts or ideas of what we want, right? I actually feel, sometimes this card can feel a little trapped or stagnant. I feel like this card is actually a choice that we get to make today. A choice to listen to our own voice rather than the voices of the others around us that might think that they know what's best for us. The water behind her also makes me feel like emotionally we should be pretty placid or at ease with where things are at for ourselves, right? And in doing that, we're able to concentrate more on a singular idea, a singular desire, a singular thought or perception that is going to propel us forward. But we have to kind of commit to it. And I feel like that's what's going on between her and this sword. There's a commitment taking place where we are shutting out sort of maybe other people's ideas, needs, thoughts on us, what we're doing, how we're doing it, that sort of a thing. It feels almost meditative to me, like sitting with ourselves and really listening to our own internal wisdom and voice and allowing that to be our guide and not allowing sort of other influences to come in today. And I think that this is actually a positive card rather than more of a kind of a no or a negative card. Oftentimes Two of Swords can represent no, but to me I feel like this is us saying no to outside sources and listening to the source within. And that's what positions her towards the future. That's what gives her clarity. I actually get a little bit of a internal clarity from this card that is not necessarily a normal interpretation of this card, but the way that she is positioned is definitely giving me that. Like, she's focused, there's almost a precision to her, but the precision is within, if that makes sense. So let's go to the Shamanic Medicine cards. I love it. Staff, foundations. Now to me this gives me Wands vibes, obviously because of the staff, but also there's like some fiery colors and it's raining down. It sort of feels like, and the redness of this card makes me feel like we might be bombarded with outside messages or thoughts of what we should do, how we should be. That's kind of the raining down in this card. But we have to kind of push forward, right? The staff is sort of pushed forward and tilted towards the future. She is definitely positioned towards the future. She's shutting out sort of maybe the oncoming messages. I will say this too, staff, which gives me this wand sort of vibe, and then the Two of Swords, they're complementary. Wands eats fire, right? It needs fire to burn. And, Wands eats air, and air is the swords element. Air feeds fire, right? So these two cards, it's almost like the situations that are going on around us that might be challenging us. If we make a choice to listen to our own voice and communicate and stay focused on our own thoughts, we actually build a foundation that's stronger and more direct or more realized than we understand. So it's almost as if this staff card to me feels like even if there's a bit of adversity or challenge in our day today, it forces us to choose what we know to be true for ourselves, and there's a strengthening in that. These two are like symbiotic. They feed off of one another and they help one another. So if we can kind of clarify or clear out the, what is that phrase? The wheat from the chaff is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. If we can kind of stay focused on what it is we know to be true for ourselves and listen to only that voice, then whatever these challenges might be or these things that are coming at us, they don't necessarily fully have an effect. She feels protected to me, especially with that sword in front of her, right? So let me read foundations to you. Staff. Staff lends itself for you to learn on whilst you take stock of where you are on your journey. This is a vital requirement for you right now, as you seem to be walking on rather shaky ground and don't feel supported. Your journey has taken many twists and turns, and although you've tried to remain focused, your desired destination still feels out of reach. Choose staff as your companion, for it will accompany you back to your roots. This is an opportunity for you to look at where you have been and where you would like to be heading. Most importantly, you are being guided to go back to basics and remember where you have come from. Have you stayed on your path or have you strayed? Looking back and acknowledging what, where, and how you started will bring a fresh, renewed outlook and the strength you need to take this journey to completion. It may be time to start all over again. If so, rock bottom will give you the perfect foundations to build upon. Staff revealed. Used for thousands of years by prophets, royalty, high priests, and priestesses, this magical tool, also known as a stave, is a symbol of authority. The first recorded use of a staff is in ancient Egypt. Moses used a staff to part the Red Sea. In modern spiritual practice, a staff is used to cast a circle for protection and as an aid to navigating the mystical path. Other divinatory meanings. Keep your eyes firmly on the path before you. Don't let others divert you from your journey. What was I just saying about the Two of Swords, guys? You're right on track. Keep going. Make a commitment and stand strong in your convictions. You are in the perfect position to start anew. Don't back down. Support will be provided. Staff speaks. Lean on me. Focus and wait. Determine what to dissipate. Strict beliefs back to the core. Strong foundations help you soar. So I really do think that if anything's challenging us, the challenge is actually a gift. It's actually feeding this Two of Swords and the strengthening of our own mental sort of prowess, right? And because of that, it's literally a gift. It's making us like choose what we know to be true for ourselves, intuitionally, emotionally, mentally, and then staying true to that and focusing ourselves up towards the future of that goal, whatever that goal may be for each and every one of you, whatever that outcome is. So here is the grounding stone. It is on carnelian, which associates with the root chakra, and the word is miracle. So what I'm going to say here is like focus on the miracles, how big or how small, the changes, the shifts, the things, staff tells us to go back and look at the past, right? Maybe find some of the miracles or the changes that you've been through already, how they've grown you, how they've taught you, and then look at the situations that are challenging you around you right now and understand that those challenges or those things that could rub you the wrong way don't necessarily have to. And therein lies that miracle. Does that make sense? So therein, the transformation is within us, and that is sort of the miracle of change, growth, education, knowledge, wisdom, all of that. The grounding stone for this week is that word nature, right? And obviously there's this communion with the environment, but this communion within ourselves of our own true nature and what we truly desire or think, feel, the tapes that we play in our head, becoming aware of them and maybe releasing some of them and choosing better, clearer, more precise thoughts that get us to where we want to be. There's an opportunity here to be creative and to move ourselves in a direction that maybe we didn't otherwise realize was available to us, and that too could be the miracle that we're to ground in today, right? That is your forecast for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you're enjoying the video, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. All right, have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.